Hey everyone, this is Player One and I'm coming to you with a review of Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey for the Nintendo DS. This game takes place in a separate universe than the other SMT games. Strange Journey takes place in the 21st century where a mysterious void-like dimensional rift has appeared over Antarctica. Designated as a Schwarzwelt, sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, it's expanding and swallowing up anything it comes into contact with. You're sent by a collection of the world's governments as part of a strike team to investigate, only to find a bunch of demons on the inside along with twisted demonic versions of things associated with modern society, including demonic shopping malls and a World War I dungeon. The idea is that demons disapprove of what humans have done to Earth and it's time for them to take it back. Alright, let's start with the story. The game plays like an old school dungeon crawler. The story is told through dialogue and a few cutscenes. It is an intriguing story that provides a basic but very entertaining backdrop for the dungeon crawling. Most of the dungeon crawlers I have played in the past revolve around fantasy storylines, so it's cool to see one strictly rooted in science fiction. The only letdown is the excessive grinding necessary in the later half of the game, which may keep you from finishing the story. As far as pacing is concerned, it's pretty good up to a certain point when it goes out the window. Being inspired by old school dungeon crawlers, you can expect grinding. It's not too bad in the first half of the game, but once you get to the second half, it can get tedious. You will grind and grind and grind to be able to defeat an annoying boss which heals every turn to only have to do the same thing for the next boss. Patience is the name of the game here, which is unfortunate because the gameplay is very fun, but artificial extension of the game is not. While this is a common issue among many RPGs, it's still a letdown. Talking about gameplay, the game is played primarily with the D-pad buttons. The top screen acts as a main screen while the bottom screen displays a dungeon map and other information. You basically have a random combat meter that fills and changes colors as you explore dungeons. When it turns red and flashes, you will have an encounter. The battles play out like a typical dungeon crawler with the Shin Megami twist. You choose the actions of your party at the beginning of the turn, then let the round unfold. If you run into unknown demons for the first time, you need to analyze them to get their info and see their actual picture. You will begin to learn specific demons' weaknesses as you play through the game, which is essential to do to get through combat quickly and effectively. There are a number of status effects you have to watch out for as well. You can also choose to negotiate with demons to add them to your collection. The negotiating is a bit random, but as you start running across the same demons, you quickly realize what you're supposed to say or do to get them on your side, which can sometimes be to feed them some of your life force, which lowers your health. The other way to get demons is through fusion. Although the system is pretty easy to get a hang of, it does require some strategy and can be really fun. On your ship, you can buy equipment and items to help in battle. Your elemental weakness can change based on the gear you use, as well as your effectiveness with a specific dungeon. The items you collect from demons also serve as material for manufacturing. Sometimes if you whip a demon enough, he will surrender and offer 4 more if you let him go. For the most part, you're better off accepting. Make sure to always prepare ahead of time because it's pretty easy to be caught off guard and have your party wiped by a surprise attack from a strong demon or boss. One cool new thing to the SMT series is a password system, which lets you skip the trial and error associated with fusion and take the easy way out. Passwords can be shared with other players, which is cool since stats and skills come with a unique password as well. The presentation is great. The music, art, and story come together to make a dark and urgent atmosphere for you to experience. I didn't run across any bugs or glitches, which is always a plus considering how many broken games are out in the wild. Navigating the menu is easy and clear, and the demon fusing system is fun and addictive. The map is easy to understand and you will be grateful it's there since the separate mazes can be a bit confusing and they are full of the typical false walls, hidden paths, teleportation tiles, and trapdoors. The map will fill in as you explore the dungeon. This helps keep track of where you have been within the maze. Another nice thing is there are no real load times to speak of. Everything runs pretty smooth, which is nice. The graphics are okay. It's not bad for a DS game. There are some cool animations in the different dungeons, and some of the demons have very, very cool designs. The music is awesome. It fits the atmosphere, and the boss themes can be really epic. There are also distinctive tracks for specific dungeons, like the World War I song or New Orleans song, to fit the respective mazes. Even though you have a lot of music repeat, it never really gets annoying, which is a huge plus. The battle theme is especially noteworthy, as I really enjoyed it. There are a few cinematics to speak of. Most serve as a quick 4 to 5 second scene of you traveling from one area to the next. Most of the other scenes you run into are just dialogue. The few that are present, however, do complement and augment the story, giving it a sense of urgency. There is a significant amount of content within this game. The story is fun and there are plenty of demons that you can convince to join you, and on top of that, you have the demon fusing system. You're looking at a gameplay time of 60 to 70 hours, maybe more if you decide to really get into collecting the info from all the demons. This is keeping in mind that there's a significant amount of grinding necessary in the latter half of the game. For most people, once you beat the game, you're probably not going to come back for seconds. But since there's already a significant amount of content there for you, you'll definitely think it's worth the money. So what's the verdict? We give the game an 8 out of 10. It's nice to have a story that's based more on science fiction than fantasy for a dungeon crawler. And of course, being the Shin Megami Tensei series, there's plenty of cool characters and demons to run across and to interact with through the fusion system, battles, and negotiations. You may feel the last third of the game can drag a little bit because of the grinding, but it's worth finishing out, and those who have enjoyed the combat thus far won't feel too bad about it. We highly recommend you pick this game up when you can, especially now while it's cheap, as I'm sure it will go up in price as time continues. Hope you enjoyed this review. Please make sure to come back often to check out other reviews, first impression gameplay, unboxings, and news and opinions about what's going on in the industry today. Also, feel free to leave any comments, any suggestions, and hope to hear from you all soon. Thanks for watching.